the Small Habit Challenge. And I wanted to speak to when, let's say, you've been humming along on your Small Habit Challenge, that you're doing pretty well. You've dealt with life throwing things at you, but then you begin to have this emotional response of like, oh, small habits annoying me. It's so boring, or I don't like it anymore. This type of resistance is there because your brain is being forced to be malleable, right? You're doing something now. You're kind of have to get over this kind of little rough spot. This is a really good place to use a little bit of willpower, right? Because I'm always talking about how willpower is a scam. Sometimes, however, you're going to have to use a little bit of willpower when you have moments like that to just get started on your small habits. So that's really the important message here is, even though you may be struggling, like your mind is like, oh, I just don't want to, I just don't feel like it. And there's really no excuse. Like, it's not hailing outside or 40-mile-per-hour winds like there was yesterday for me, but I still did it. Is just understanding you just have to do it. So today we went walking. I came back, I had a meeting, so I didn't have time to do that right away because I just didn't have time. And so what ended up happening is I got done with the meeting, I ate some lunch, and I went ahead and did my small habit. But it was funny because I wasn't doing it right after my normal, anchor habit, which is really important. I started to have this kind of dread. So I say there's two pieces here. When you disrupt that flow where you were anchored that small habit to, because of whatever reason, and you go back to do it later, it's really easy to write it off. And so this is where my willpower is like, no, I can just go do something. And it started raining, so I went to this little gym here and I upped my weights a little bit. So I didn't do as many reps, but I did do sets, but they weren't just as high. So that was good to challenge myself. I did some of the jump roping as well. So the important piece here is just understand that you can utilize that willpower just to get started. And even still, even if it's a small bit of the habit, you continue it, right? You change it up a little bit. Now, if you're finding that day in and day out and you're anchoring and you're just like, this is not it, that's fine. Substitute it, right? But it's important that you keep the momentum going for whatever your long-term goal was with that. So let's see, for me, it was getting stronger. And I really want to emphasize the importance to celebrate your success. So, making that note on the calendar, or recognizing that you're feeling stronger and more flexible, or that you're losing weight, or that you have more energy, you're sleeping better, whatever that habit was, you're feeling more productive, your mind is more clear. Notice those changes, right? Because that's another factor that will make this and cement this habit into your daily routine. So for me, I am feeling strong. This is week 3. I'm lifting more weights. I'm feeling more flexible. I feel better. My running is good. So it's all been very good. So just don't let that momentary resistance in your mind, push you not to do something, because that's where discipline comes in, and a little bit of willpower, and use it to your advantage. It doesn't take much, right? You just have to get out and get started, because the momentum, because you've already been doing it, that little bit of momentum with a little bit of willpower, just kind of getting, it's like, oh, I can just do one, right? Just tell yourself, the mind, I can just do one, or I can just do a minute, or whatever it is, that smallest piece, and then the momentum will carry you. And when you allow that to happen, you'll keep on going, right? But the brain's, it's like, I'm really comfortable right now. I really just don't want to. Like, yeah, well, we're going to do it anyway, but a small piece. So I think that's the piece I'd say. And I think many people run into this problem. So that's one trick I found that works really well. And if you can have a friend or someone that you're doing this with, that's even better, because we're much more likely to give up on ourselves than someone else. And so when you have that accountability, I would encourage you to consider doing that as well. So, okay, guys, that's all I got for today. But tomorrow will be day 20 of this 30-day challenge. So it'll be exciting. And we'll go from there. Talk to you later.